Welcome to Inspire and Move, the show that inspires you to create, connect, and grow. I'm going to bring you meaningful conversations, aha moments, and all the motivation you need to up-level every part of your life. I'm Ali Aruda, founder of Inspire and Move, and your personal hype girl. I've gone from fashion school to celebrity stylist to corporate marketing to brick-and-mortar entrepreneurship with my husband, each time learning incredible lessons how to pivot, reimagine, and implement the steps to become successful. I'm passionate about inspiring others to live their best life, a life of joy. We have the power to design a life that we love, because life is too short not to. The best part is that you weren't meant to do this alone. If you feel like you are meant for more, let me ride shotgun with you, and together, let's get you to where you want to go. All right, let's just shift to the world of entrepreneurship that you're not even a year old yet at Anagen.
No, 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
So exciting. And in the 6 months, how has it been? How's the journey been as an entrepreneur?
It was really scary in the beginning.
You can be so honest because this podcast is in the entrepreneurship category. So we can spill all the tea, no gatekeeping.
Yeah. So I'd wake up at 2:00 in the morning, just scared shitless. Like, oh my God, are people going to enjoy this treatment as much of my heart that I'm pouring into it? Mm-hmm. How am I going to really get this message out there? I made this really cool looking spa, but now we're talking about dandruff. I just felt like there was a big disconnect with that. So now I make the joke we're trying to make dandruff sexy and cool. And it was really scary. I'm a single mom as well. So knowing that you're just up and running and there's no safety net, there's nobody to catch you or to help you along the way. So it was harrowing.
Yeah. But hair was still intact.
Hair was still intact.
Yeah.
I didn't lose it. I ate, I trained, I had my water. I did all of the things possible because, I couldn't open up a scalp spa and be losing my own hair, right?
No.
No.
I'm it's baseball hat season, baby.
Yeah.
No, you are, you have a beautiful head of hair.
Thanks.
So now we're 6 months in, and what does it look like for you? What's even a day in the life of Natalie?
So I'm just up at 4:00 anyways. I'm a morning person, and that's just for me to be able to get to do all the things that I need to do. So I get up, I train, I check my emails, we do scheduling, and then, we come into the spa, we open up the spa, we're in there around 9:00, and we're out of there usually around 6:30 or 7:00, and that's kind of the day there.
And then when you go home, what does that look like? I need all the details. I want to know what you had for dinner, what time are you going to bed?
Oh my God, so the air fryer is my best friend. And I swore it off for so long. I was like, no, I'm going to use everything in the oven. But now I had to get an air fryer. It just cooks things a lot faster. My kid even really likes it a lot better. Takeout food was a big thing for a while. And you can get healthy takeout now, which is awesome. So we were doing that for a bit, but I really need to be on my schedules, on my routines. If I fall off of them, it takes me a good 2 weeks to get back on top of it, especially having a 6-year-old in his baseball schedule. So I have to be super tight on it. Nothing can knock me off that track.
I was listening to a great podcast this morning, actually, on a dog walk before my workout, and there was a message in there about routines and sleep, and how my friend Lori was talking about this, and how she needs 8 or 9 hours of sleep, especially if she's going into the next day of either big meetings, big calls, or a high volume of calls, or a tough conversation. So what is that role? Let's talk about that for you with sleep and training, knowing that I think that's something that you and I both really value. What does that look like for you, and how they're either non-negotiables, or is there wiggle room?
So that's a non-negotiable for me. I have to train. I've been doing that since my early 20s. It's something that keeps me sharp. It's something that, staves off that brain fog. If I have to have a tough conversation with somebody, yeah, you're totally right. If I miss my morning workout, I don't know what it is. I'm just not calibrated properly. So I go to bed at 8:30, the same time that my 6-year-old does, and that's just easy and it works for me. And I can wake up at 4:00 and I'm refreshed and I'm ready to just start the day. And then I start my day either with some light walking on the treadmill, or I'm just jumping right into a workout. So I do strength train 5 days a week, and I get my steps in, or I'm doing some cycling otherwise. But I'm my sleep, non-negotiable. The training in the morning is a non-negotiable. That's my coffee. That's the thing that sets me up.
I'm so similar to you, and I'm aware of being intuitive with it. Sometimes there are days where it's you know what, I don't feel like it, which is also maybe because Matt and I own a gym. Mm-hmm. And depending on the state, if you're having a tough season as an entrepreneur. Sometimes it's hard to go in and turn yourself on.
Yeah.
Probably be the same as if you're having a bad day, but you know a scalp treatment's going to make you feel better, but you kind of don't feel like going into your own space because you're low vibe or stressed or overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It's an interesting psychology that I think only those of us that are entrepreneurs that own something that we're so passionate about, and if you can't go in there because of like how you're feeling, it's a weird relationship.
Yeah, it's tough to not go in there at 100% because that's all you've ever given it. And then to go in there not at 100%, it just feels like it's like disrespectful or something.
Totally, because then now I'm going to spiral about not being 100%, and then I'm going to have a whole new bucket of problems.
Yeah. Or what if my energy like rubs off on somebody else? Like, I don't want to give that off.
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do your morning routine. Are you a coffee girl?
I have my coffee when I come down to work. I love coffee, so I just try to, break that off a little bit. And I'm a cortado girl, so I don't make that at home. I have to go to the Pearl and have that made. Perfect. And the girls in there are so great, so I love going to see them anyways. But yes, so yeah, I'll come down here and I get my coffee, but no, I don't have coffee in the morning.
Okay,
I find I crash in the afternoon if I have it too early.
That's fair.
Yeah.
We're very aligned in terms of like training being important, good quality sleep. I love that I am now like asleep well before 10. There's the odd night, like I went out with some girlfriends the other night for dinner and went to bed at 11, which was crazy on a Wednesday night. But it was worth it. It was a nice time. But I'm very much like asleep before 10 and up at 6. And I feel that feels like such a win as an entrepreneur to have, for many years, I was not kind to myself and going to bed really late. And that was the last piece of my wellness puzzle that I added. Although now actually the scalp health is my last piece. So now we're dialed in on that.
That's just adding on.
But being able, I think that is so important. And I love that is becoming a more consistent conversation around entrepreneurs. And maybe that's also coming with rooms that we are spending more time in and being with high level, high achieving entrepreneurs, that you want to really focus on some of these habits with what it is that makes you feel like the best version of yourself, super sharp, and that sleep, nutrition, exercise.
Yeah. I think it just helps with all of that like anxiety or, that isolation depression that you can get as an entrepreneur. Like if you're not getting that sleep, you're not going to be able to, stave off that anxious feelings or like the what ifs, or you're not calibrated the same.
No. Yeah. Are you passionate about, personal development, mindset work? Do you work with a coach?
I do have a coach. Not working with him currently. He's not, I guess he does a ton of mindset stuff. But more so it's just somebody to kind of help me in the background of things when I love bodybuilding. That's something that I just love to do, so I continue on with him here and there. But mindset I love so much. I'm also really big on my own personal development. I generally don't like to watch TV. I think it's a big waste of time, so I would prefer to be consuming something that I'm actually going to learn from, or I'll go and do something active. I'll go for a walk or just something else that's different.
Personal development has to be one of my favorite topics. So are you a book girl, podcast, all of the above?
I don't have time for reading right now, so it has to be a podcast so I can just listen to it while I'm on the go doing stuff. Yeah.
What do you like to listen to?
I love the Huberman podcast. I think that's kind of really it for me right now.
That feels like an energetic match for you.
Yeah.
Based off of so many of the things that we've talked about today and just things that I know that are important to you.
I like all the science stuff.
Yes. So, yeah. Oh my gosh, I love this. And what do you feel is your vision for Anagen? Like what's your big dreams?
I really want to grow it. I would love to see it go across Canada, and I would love to see franchises begin.
Do you have a timeline that you have in mind?
Not yet. I think it would just be good to see 1 year under our belt and see where we're at from there, and then move on to location 2 and then 3 and 4. And yeah, but I think we got to get location 1 under the belt first and just kind of really see what our clients are and how we can really truly help them and put proper programs in place for them.
What are 3 wins that you're celebrating right now with the 6 months of Anagen?
The ribbon cutting ceremony was great. We have a really great clientele that's coming in. Everybody's just, I don't know how to explain it. Everybody that comes in, like they're coming in for a treatment, but it almost ends up being like a girl party that's in there. So we really love our clients. And then my staff, I think they're so amazing and so honest and so warm and so welcoming and transparent about all of their different skills and how they can help people. And they will, intermix if they have a client and they can't answer their question. They're very open and easy to go to somebody else and ask for help from somebody else. So I love the team that we've been able to curate and how they've been able to help our clients that are coming in, because a lot of people that come in and we give them all of this information, it can be pretty scary. And I've had some people that have started trembling in the chair, and I just love them girls so much because they're so kind and caring that they can just kind of take them up and help them and put these people back up on their feet and make them feel empowered again, rather than like, I got all of this new stuff that I have to worry about and redo all my morning schedules. So that's a lot for people.
Mm-hmm. And what about challenges?
Again, trying to get the whole, you got to wash your hair and scalp to really make sure that it's healthy. So again, when we tell people this, it's a lot for them to take in. And especially if you've been going on your whole life only washing like once or twice a week, it's like rewriting your entire morning routine and trying to tell somebody like, well, you can't do that anymore. You got to do it like this. And a lot of people, when they do their hair in the morning, it is a lot of work for them. And so now they are looking at like an extra 45 minutes of work. And to tell that to people and try to put that into context for them, that's probably one of the most difficult challenges.
Because I do remember you mentioning something about wet hair. So maybe we should just touch on that, because I know that was a question that I asked, was like, how do we feel about wet hair? Like, okay, I can totally get down with washing every second day, but I do love either going out with a low bun when it's wet, or I would happily just go to sleep with wet hair. But I didn't get a resounding yes on that from Natalie and her team.
Yeah, so don't go to bed with wet hair. You want to make sure that even if you are going to let it air dry, that you're release drying the part of your hair that's going to be closest to your head. So bacteria will come really, really, really quickly, especially because it's your body. We have it all over inside of us and on us. So bacteria loves darkness, warmth, and moisture. And it's going to get all of that with your scalp being wet and your hair being wet. So especially if you're going to put it in that low bun or you're going to go to bed, you're going to get a ton of irritation from that and a lot of inflammation on the back of the scalp. Actually, we have a really good photo from somebody who came in, and the back of their head looks like giant mosquito bites all over it. And that's from her going to bed with it wet. So just dry the part of your head.
You guys
near
heard
your
that I got
scalp.
up at 6. Now I get up at 5, thanks to Natalie and the Anagen team.
Maybe we'll do sunrise blowouts.
Yes, please. For the gym girlies, the early bird, like the early coffee club or something like that. Ooh, we can workshop this.
We'll figure it out.
We'll come up with some good ideas. All right, so we chatted through wins, we chatted through challenges. Any other lessons from the world of entrepreneurship, the entrepreneurial roller coaster that you would love to share with the listeners in the audience?
I think just make sure that you're providing value in what it is that you're offering. And I don't want to sound hokey, but I just want to say, like, make sure that it comes from the heart. Like, it's something that you really want to give to somebody and something that really moves you and something that you can just talk about all day long, nonstop to whoever it is. And a lot of times it's going to be the same message that you're telling over and over and over again. So I think you need to be comfortable with that. And again, you have to love what you're talking about and how it's going to help that person.
I love that. I remember seeing Brendan Bouchard. Have you ever read any of his books or listened to him? He's amazing. He's like an energizer bunny, an incredible motivational speaker and leader. And I've heard him say at a few of the events that I've seen him speak at live, how you want to come and operate from a place of service. And the more you can do that, the more successful you will be. Mm-hmm. And really thinking about that how can you provide a service when someone's going to walk through the door, not only just in terms of how you greet them and what they experience, the energy that you're in, but also, of course, the treatment that you're providing that is of service and that you are solving a problem for them. Mm-hmm. And we think about that often. And I think it's also easy to forget. So it's important to kind of kick yourself back in the game, whether it's, you're being accountable to doing that with yourself or with your business partner. My business partner is also my husband. So having those conversations or having those mentors, coaches, peers, and accountability partners, I think is really important. It's something that we've really leaned into, of having those accountability partners and peers by being in masterminds, getting in these rooms. Yeah. And I think even when I had this moment of, this sort of hit me last night, that even when you might think like, no, this year I'm actually going to skip the big investment. I'm going to, take a vacation. But then you move forward. I think Matt and I said this last year, thinking about doing that this year. And we actually doubled down and made a big investment in a mastermind that's been on my vision board for a number of years. And I'm so grateful because going through some of these weeks that are challenging seasons where you can connect with peers where you're like, oh, you know what? Natalie's gone through this or something different, but you can spitball ideas back and forth. Or if I'm having a challenging week, you can pull me out of the depths and vice versa. And also just sit and have a great conversation about how you provide value and how you can evolve. And I think that is really, I love that that is something that you also feel and that you have this big vision of sharing what it is that Anagen does and how you can help people all over Canada, US, the world.
I mean, eventually we would really like to move Anagen Institute into like a hair school where the stylists want to learn hair, they can come in here, but they're also going to get a nutrition component. They're going to get the scalp component and really understand like what the connection is. So we've met some people recently that think that hair grows from the ends instead of it coming from the scalp. So that was something that was different for us to understand recently.
Sounded like a growth moment, literally.
Yeah.
And you're like, tell me how you think this happens. Walk me through the science of how it grows from the end to the top. I would love to hear. I actually would also love to hear.
I'm two people in one day.
Oh, did you just look like cock your head to the side and be like, interesting?
I was like, I haven't heard that like in person yet. I've seen things online where people like had thought that, but I hadn't met somebody that did think that. But I mean, I guess I can kind of see where that goes because there's like a spine that's in your hair. And I think that's what people think, that like the nutrient travels through it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I know you put out some great content that's very educational, and not only is it beautiful for people to be able to see like what the experience is like, but also educational to debunk these myths and how often we should be washing our hair.
Yes.
And I probably have never washed some of my baseball caps, but I will do that this weekend.
Do that this weekend.
Natalie's straw just dropped, just for any of you wondering.
And your winter coats as well. Like wash those, like the backs of them. Change your pillowcases often. If you're at the gym, if you really want to be kind of nerdy, like wipe the headrests of your head on things, because a lot of people, they're not washing their heads. And then they put their head on there. And then they don't think about wiping that either. And a lot of times you can go into these gyms and you can see where the oil from people's heads are, and it's embedded on it. And there's a lot of bacteria there.
I just sat in a moment of gratitude, how I love watching people at Benchmark wipe the entire piece of equipment. I feel so proud hearing Natalie say this. I was like, Benchmark win. Go community. Gold star. Okay, so I want to sort of wrap things up with, Matt and I love doing this thing called Power 9. And it is something that we've adopted. We do not get credit for it. Chris and Lori Harder came up with it. But I would love for you to share 3 things that you're grateful for, 3 things you're excited about, and 3 things that you're manifesting.
Okay, so I'll start with the things I'm excited about. So I'm excited about the new water tank we got.
Spoken like a true entrepreneur.
Just got it installed. I'm super excited about that because now we can run like all 6 chairs at the same time instead of just doing like 3 at a time. So that's like a really, really big thing. I'm excited for the fall because that's a really busy season for us. It's dandruff season kicks off, so I'm excited for that.
Is there a National Dandruff Day? I don't know.
I think I'm going to make one because we're making it sexy. So yes, I'm excited about that. We're going to be hiring, so that's really exciting. So we want to fill up those chairs. 3 things I'm manifesting. Definitely manifesting that next location. I can't stop thinking about it or where it's going to be or how it's going to look.
Do we have a city in mind or province?
It'll be in Ontario.
Okay.
I'm going to hold on to that city to myself for now.
Ooh, I love it.
Because I'm just really holding on to that, manifesting it. The other thing that I'm really excited about, I can't think of anything else.
So do you have the address picked out? Like, can you visualize the location of this second location?
We do know that we want all future Anagens to either be something near water or have some scenic view, and we don't want anybody to be staring at a mirror of themselves. Like, you go to a salon, you just sit there for the next hour or 2 staring at yourself in the mirror, and you just feel uglier by the end of it.
Yeah, you're like,
we
the
don't
lights
want
are really
that.
bright. I'm not wearing any makeup.
No, we don't want that. We want to be able to just look at something that's really beautiful outside, something that's very calming, because everything that we want inside of Anagen has to be relaxing. A lot of times stress, right, causes us to lose our hair, so we want it to be very relaxing. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, that was only one manifesting.
I know, I can't think of
I need two more.
Okay, so I'll give you one more. I can't think of the third one, but we're looking at doing something that's more of like an elite luxury head spa. So that's something that that I'm manifesting anyways, and so we're already drawing up some plans for that.
Do we have some teasers of what this elite experience has?
So if you could mix what we're doing with Anagen and like a Japanese head spa, so ours is very different. So Japanese head spa is very much just about the relaxation. So here we'll be backing away from the science of it, and you're going to have a scalp specialist that's going to be with you for a good 2 hours, and they're going to run you straight through from your consult to the very end with product recommendations and send you home with a full routine. But you're also going to be looking at like a foot massage or a hand massage.
Is there reflexology with this?
Reflexology, yes. So there's a lot of other components that are going to go into it, and again, it will just be staring out at some sort of nature.
You just made my dreams come true. Like a head massage met with reflexology just made my heart skip like 3 beats.
Yeah,
It's very exciting. I'm manifesting this too.
So I can't manifest a third one because they're just so big right now.
Okay, 2 really big manifestations. Got it. All right, and you've got to wrap it up with 3 gratitudes.
I'm grateful for my business partner. They've been absolutely amazing. I'm very grateful for the location that we have. I think being around the water is something very special. And I'm going to make this one about me. And I'm grateful that I'm healthy and that I can continue to keep pushing forward with this, because I think entrepreneurship can really take a toll on you if you're not putting the right steps in place. So I'm grateful for my health.
As you should be. I say that often.
Yeah.
I think that's one that many people could just easily forget. And there's a lot happening. Like Matt and I were saying this yesterday, like, I feel like we've just got like a lot of bad news about people, like friends or people in our network that have lost loved ones. And it just feels like it's a lot. So
yeah.
I think that's an excellent gratitude. And I will double down and I will say the same thing. I am so grateful for my health. And abilities. I say this often in the gym where like you're doing something hard that, okay, I'm not enjoying these Bulgarian split squats that have a jump with them, but how lucky am I that I get to do this?
Yeah, you have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
A lot of other people are facing other ailments and they can't do that.
And we can do hard things.
Yeah.
Natalie, it's been such a joy having you here.
Well, thanks for having me.
Where can everyone find you?
Anagen.ca or natalielouise.ca on Instagram.
I love this. And then the first Anagen location is here in downtown Burlington. So we'll put that in the show notes just so you guys who are local or are able to travel to come and experience Anagen, it's so worth it. I highly recommend. I can't wait for the rest of my journey.
Yeah.
And I can't wait. Guys, next time you see Natalie and I in the studio together, I'm going to have my hair is just going to be like 8 feet long, which would actually make it much longer than my height. So that was not exactly the best guess.
Just a trail of hair.
Just a trail. I'll look like Elsa or Rapunzel.
You know Allie's around the corner when.
Yeah, because her hair's around the corner. Yeah. It's been so fun having you. And again, I was so excited to just nerd out and talk about scalp health because it is not something that, I knew nothing about it. I'm still very novice. I'm really working on having a super sexy, healthy scalp thanks to Natalie and the Anagen team. But it has just been so fun having you. So I hope everyone goes to experience Anagen and check them out online, and as well as Natalie.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. And if you loved this episode, I would love if you were to share it with a friend, share it on your stories. And if you feel like giving a little rating and review, a little 5-star love, I would be forever grateful. And until next time, we will see you again soon. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. If you loved this episode, it would mean so much to me if you took a few seconds and shared this on social media, sent it to a friend, or left a 5-star review. There is power in community, and I'm so grateful to have you part of mine.